Abbas, son of Caliph Harun ar-Rashid, in his youth adored to talk and listen to pious religious people. He would visit graveyards frequently and was very cautious of his doings. Once, when his father was talking with his ministers and officers, the boy came up to them wearing only two pieces of cloth, one around his waist and the other on his head. The men looked at him. They did not like to see a prince dressed this way. They thought that it was not right for a king's son to dress in such a poor manner. This boy is very bad. He upsets his father. He should dress properly so that the king may be proud of him when other kings come to see him, they said. When the king asked his son to dress in rich clothes, the boy did not answer but decided to show them a wonder, karama, something Allah made easy for him to do, because of his intense love for Allah. He looked around, and seeing a bird a long way off, he called it to his side. The bird flew onto the boy's hand. He then told the bird to fly away, and it did so. Having shown everyone what Allah could make him through his will, he turned to his father and told him that he wore shabby clothes, because if he loved Allah, such earthly things were not important, and that he was sad because his father seemed to love the world more than Allah.
Soon the boy knew it was time to leave his father's court and serve Allah alone. He took with him a copy of the glorious Quran and a precious ring, which his mother gave him to make use of if he ever needed any money. When the prince reached Basra, he worked as a laborer for one day in the week and took only enough money to last him a week. At this time Abu Amr Basri, a learned man and a mystic of repute, was looking for a builder to mend a wall which had fallen down. Suddenly he saw a handsome youth busy reciting words from the glorious Quran. He asked the boy if he would do the job. The boy said, "I will do the job, but I want only a small sum of money to last a week, and I must stop working at the times of Salah." Abu Amr agreed to this, and the youth started to work. By the end of the day, Abu Amr noticed that the boy had done the work of 10 men. He paid him his wages, minimal, as requested by the boy. To his surprise, the boy did not come the next day. As he was so pleased with his work, Abu Amr set out to look for him, but could not find him until the next week at the same time and in the same place that he had seen him before. The boy again asked for the same small sum of money and time off for Salah, and carried on building the wall. At the end of the day, Abu Amr gave the boy more money than he had asked for, but the boy would not take more than what would last him a week. Abu Amr waited until the next week for the youth to come for work. He did not come and was nowhere to be found. Abu Amr looked all over for him. He told his story in the following words: "I asked all and sundry. At last a man told me that the boy had been ill and lay unconscious in the forest. I paid a man to take me to him. When I reached the place, the boy was lying on the ground, resting his head on a stone. I spoke to him, but he did not answer. I greeted him again, and this time he opened his eyes. He recognized me at once. I lifted his head and put it in my lap. He raised his head and spoke some verses reminding everyone about death and warned against people who were greedy for worldly goods." After that, Abu Amr Basri narrates the whole incident that happened. Abbas asked me to bathe him and bury him in one of his garments, to give the other piece of cloth and his wudhu cup to the man who would dig his grave, and to take the glorious Quran and the ring to Harun ar-Rashid personally, and to tell him, "These are your things. They belong to your son. Make sure you do as Allah wishes." With that, the boy died. Only then did I realize that the boy was the prince. I buried him there as he had asked, and took the ring to the king in Baghdad. I stood on a high mound near the palace and saw a troop of horsemen riding out from the palace. When I saw him, I shouted at the top of my voice. The king stopped, and I showed him the things that his son had left. He recognized them, and so I was able to tell him all I could about his son. Tears rolled down his cheeks as I spoke. He ordered one of his guards to look after me until he returned from his royal visit. When I saw the king again, he was very sad indeed. He asked me how I came to know his son. He was very shocked to hear that his son, a prince, wished to work as a labourer and for enough money to last him only a week. I said that I had not known that he was the king's son, and a Sayyid, the descendant of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The king asked me if I had bathed his son with my own hands. One told him that I had, and he took my hands and pressed them to his heart, as he said some couplets, which showed his great sadness. He also visited the grave and recited more couplets, which told of the fact that death must come to everyone. Later, Abu Amar Basri dreamt of the departed soul of this boy, which told him of his great joy in paradise, where he found happiness beyond the realms of human thought or imagination.